Okay, I understand you had a win yesterday.
Sure did.
Now, where was that?
Thomaston Firecracker 5K, 4th of July race.
And what was your strategy?
Well, I was at the start and I was looking around, scoping out the field, and to be honest with you, I didn't see any real ringers or local runners who I thought had a really good chance of beating me. So in the back of my mind, you know, I had the thought, you know, this could be the day to win, but wasn't sure, and I guess it turned out it was the day. I paced off with the leader for the, so yeah, the start of the race, I started out in second and I was pacing off with the leader, and we were neck and neck pretty much the entire race. At the turnaround point, since it's an out and back race at Thomaston, they it was a couple steps ahead of me, and the local runners that know me were all giving me words of encouragement and weren't saying anything to him. And it got to the point where he asked me, "You must be a hometown hero," and I said, "Yep." So I thought I'd make conversation with him a little bit, and he told me he was from New Hampshire. So I thought it would be fitting if the local boy took the out-of-stater to win the local race, you know. Going into the finish, I was, well, before the finish, I was coming up the final hill, which is with about a mile to go. And I was hoping, you know, you could make this easier on me, buddy, if you pull a calf or strain a muscle or do something to, you know, come up with a flat tire or something, just like in NASCAR. So
but you didn't say it.
And
you're just thinking it, right?
Yeah, I didn't say it, I was thinking it, but, you know, trying to come up with scenarios in my head in hopes of winning the race. And then we made it to the final water stop, which was a half mile to go. And I, just like in NASCAR, you know, if he's going to make a pit stop and take water, or, you know, get gas, or in this case, get water, I was going to take a pit stop too. Well, he didn't. I did what the leader did, just like in NASCAR, and I just kept running and paced with him. Going into the finish, there's about 300 yards to go, 300 feet to go, and Bonnie Westcott and her boyfriend Bob were near the finish line. They were giving me words of encouragement to outkick him at the end. Well, I think moral support helped a ton, and Bonnie said she ran with me into the finish, and like I said, with 100 yards away from the finish, I didn't care what it took. I said, if I'm going down, I ain't going down without a fight, and I just full all-out sprint booked it. I booked it and looked over my right shoulder just before the finish, and there was no sign of him in sight. Lunged for the finish line, and the celebration began.
Did they give you the ribbon?
Oh no, they didn't give me any ribbon. There was no ribbons this year. I just, I know they have in the past, but this year there was none. So, but like I said, the post-celebration was on. I remember just throwing my hands in the air, slapping the tar, throwing my sunglasses around, and just this rush of adrenaline just kicked in, and holy cow, it was a relief basically to finally have won a local race after 12 or 13 second place finishes and a lot of disappointing second place finishes, not winning a race in this area. It felt great to finally get the first one done and out of the way, and I felt like I was on cloud nine, an entirely different planet after I'd
now the pressure's on you.
It is now, yes. I've set the standard, you know, I set the tone, so I've you know, this may be a once-in-a-lifetime thing, so like I said, I made the most of it after I won, and it may never happen again, but...
Oh, it'll happen again.
I hope it does, I hope it does. It probably won't be as much of an over-celebration like it was yesterday. I felt like Dale Earnhardt after he won his first Daytona 500 after 21 consecutive tries back in 1998. It was kind of a, not quite to that extent. I wasn't doing donuts in the parking lot or nothing, but it was still a tremendous feeling, and I savored it in, and I loved it. And for once, it was nice to finally for me to be able to say I was better than everybody else and faster than everybody else in the field. Never had the privilege of saying that before, except once down a race in Portland. But they gave me the wrong. They ended up putting the results in and gave the wrong name when I went to look at the results the next day, and there was only 9 or 10 people in that race, so that race really didn't count.
Oh, okay.
Well, it does. It counts as a win, but it wasn't as special as this one was yesterday, and what a feeling. I loved it.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.